Hello everyone, the topic of this video is how to find debt-free companies in the stock market. When you look at the financials of a company, different factors play different roles in helping you understand its strength. The debt of a company is an important parameter. If a company has zero debt on its balance sheet, then it is known as a debt-free company. Why identify debt-free companies to invest in? Debt plays an important role in the present performance and future growth of any company. In the current economic situation, where most companies are struggling due to the COVID pandemic, companies with zero interest burden, that is no debts, stand a better chance at surviving than those with high debts. So let's move and see how to find debt-free small cap, mid cap and large cap companies. Firstly, understand the classification of small cap, mid cap and large cap companies. Small cap has market capitalization of less than 7,000 crores. Mid cap has market cap between 7,000 to 26,000 crores. Large cap having market cap above 26,000 crores. Here debt free means debt equal to zero. Now open your browser and go to screener.in. screener.in. Enter. Now go to the screens where you have to register here. I will log in to my account. So create new screen. Our criteria is first we go in 3 steps. Number 1, we will screen all the small cap debt free companies, then the debt free companies from the mid caps, and lastly the large cap companies. We know as per the CB, the current categorization, the small caps should be having a market cap less than 7,000 crores. So we see market capitalization less than 7,000 and then type end criteria. And what is the debt? We can go for debt or debt to equity. I prefer debt to equity, so just keep on debt to equity equal to 0 and then run this query. You could see there are 604 companies which are debt free. Alright, you see the debt to equity is coming 0. Now usually I prefer to go for companies which are having a debt to equity at less than 0.13. For example, why do I prefer 0.13 or some other factor rather than going for 0? You may miss some of the companies which are having very low debt or virtually debt free. So just keep this particular ratio which is around 0.1. I go for 0.13 and then you can run this query. Now you see 1173 companies. So these all are the debt free companies. Now I'll give you another small technique here. Again add another criteria and then go for PEG ratio. Here PEG is a valuation metric for determining the relative trade-off between the price of the stock, the earnings generated per share, that is EPS, and the company's expected growth. In general, the PE ratio is higher for a company with a higher growth rate. Thus, using just the PE ratio in these screeners would make high growth companies appear overvalued relative to others. So it is assumed that by dividing the PE ratio by the earnings growth rate, the resulting ratio is better for comparing companies with different growth rates. Usually PEG less than 1 is desired. I just keep here PEG less than 2 to get more companies. Later you can see the business model and other things and you can finalize your companies which are in line with the given criteria. So with such a criteria, we have shortlisted 525 stocks here. You can examine these stocks by running the same query in your window. So hope you understand how to shortlist the debt-free companies with any kind of an additional criteria. So in the first step, we have completed the shortlisting the small cap stocks. Let's move on and shortlist the mid cap stocks. For the mid caps, the criteria is the market cap should be greater than 7,000 crores and market cap less than 26,000 crores. Just clean up the other queries. Keep debt to equity at 0. And then let's run this query. We could see 21 companies here. So you can examine by running the same query on your PC. Now we have 21 debt-free mid-cap stocks here. In case you want to go for investing based on only these criteria, then you can go for it. If you want any specific criteria such as a dividend yield of a certain percentage or having good sales growth or profit growth of companies, can also be added. Now let us move to the last step of finding debt-free large cap companies. The criteria for finding debt-free large cap companies is it should have market cap greater than 26,000 crores. Again, keep debt to equity equal to 0. Stay intact and run the query. So here we found 8 large cap companies which are debt free. They are namely Hindustan Unilever, PNG, HDFC AMC, ITC, SBI Life Insurance, Ambuja Cements, ICICI Prudential Life, Maruti Suzuki. So these 8 companies, you can, in case if your preference is to go for large caps, debt free, just try to study the business models, annual reports and understand their future prospects. Here we have large cap zero debt companies with debt equity at equal to 0. But practically we may miss some good companies if we go with such criteria. So relax it to debt equity at less than 0.13 and rerun the query to see how many more companies we may filter out. Okay, so we got 38 large cap companies for our query. Do study them further for investing. I hope you learn how to find debt-free companies, especially if you are a beginner in the stock markets. I will soon make a detailed video with some techniques for finding multi-baggers in different sectors. Please don't forget to like the video. If you are new to my channel and looking for fresh content on stock markets, please do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching. I will see you again in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and your investments.